Welcome to the Lakers Fast Break, Lakers Nightcap. I'm your host, Joe Soro. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, you're going to get a very entertaining show tonight. There's a lot of angst, a lot
Another
of
subscriber. Thank you.
emotion.
What do you think about that, Joe? It doesn't matter what you think, Joe. We got another subscriber.
That's funny. I just got another subscriber and I heard Sean's voice. That's the first time I've heard his voice. That's a good one. Anyways, I I'm having a nightcap like I normally do, except this time I'm going to go with the old reliable instead of my Tito's. I'm going to go with Honey Jack. For those of you who don't know the history of Honey Jack, for me is this is the drink I drink with my friends at least once a month. We have a Honey Jack night and Coke, or in most cases, we try to get something a little bit better for the body. So I'll usually go with the Topo Chico because I do get that carbonation there without all the sugar. So I'm gonna have the old reliable. It tastes good and it definitely is warranted. Love you too, Xbox. Love you too, man. Appreciate it. Scotch, I guess I can probably bring scotch next time. I'm gonna go with whiskey right now, Xbox, with some Topo Chico just to kind of lighten up the mood a little bit. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the game and maybe go into a little bit more detail than I did on the post game. But again, I don't know how much more detail I need to explain that we haven't already explained before. So here's Honey Jack and Coke with Topo Chico as a mixer. Salute everyone in Australia, the Philippines, the East Coast, Central, Mountain, Pacific. God bless you. Salute. Nice and good, nice and smooth. That'll be gone probably within the next 15 minutes. So the Lakers, this was a tale of one quarter versus three. So the first quarter, the Lakers looked like a team on a mission, very similar to the game against Oklahoma City. It looked like whatever happened in the Oklahoma City game, they just continued into that first quarter. Well, actually, technically, with 10:53 into the first quarter, and then the remaining minute and seven, that's when the Kings started making their run. It was kind of early in that part of the game where they cut the deficit pretty considerably. Then the second quarter arrived, and the numbers were staggering. There was a time in the game where I think they went 21-2. Well, the quarter they ended up with 44 points. I'm talking about the Kings, and the Lakers only scored 20. I think they didn't score more than 4 baskets. It might have been 5 baskets that quarter. So that was probably where they died. Now they made a little bit of a fake run like they normally do towards the end, but the second quarter is what absolutely killed them. And it was quick. They were up 19 and then they were down 2 quick. I don't know what happened other than the fact that they've been doing this lack of focus all year, and that's what I'm going to attribute it to. And of course, Darvin Ham's pathetic rotations and not being able to match whatever his opponents are doing on the court. Playing 3-guard lineups against 3 guards that can shoot from anywhere, get to the basket, get to the paint, do a drop step, do a teardrop. They do anything. And of course, guys like Torian Prince, guys like Austin Reeves and Spencer Dinwiddie have no shot at doing anything good there. And it just didn't help that AD wasn't there to back very much up. That was probably other than the loss, it was the biggest disappointment, I think, tonight was AD's inability to be AD. And it's been like this. It's been like this, especially against Sabonis. This marks 9 games against Sabonis, meaning AD versus Sabonis, where Sabonis has won. That means they've played 9 times, and Sabonis led team has beaten AD. 0-9. 0-9. When does that start bothering you? 0-3? I know I'd be upset after 0-2, 0-3. But even after that, it's gone to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on, man. AD, how do you not come into it? And you're at home. If this was in Sacramento, that's one thing. Matter of fact, I was expecting something like this in Sacramento, not in your own house. So what are we supposed to ask Anthony Davis at this point? Where's your pride? Where's your ego at this point? 0-9, you're coming into this game 0-8 against Sabonis. I would like to think that after 8 games in a row losing to this player who to me is inferior to you in terms of talent, physical talent, but in terms of here, this is not working right now. Not against any big with any considerable talent. You're getting worked by Jokic. You're getting worked by Sabonis. You're getting worked by Embiid. You're getting worked by all players that you are physically better than. All players that you should be better than. You should have an MVP, not Embiid, not Jokic. How is this possible? It's above the neck, guys. And then you factor that in with bad positioning, bad court balance. Just it's a terrible sequence of basketball, and it's so bipolar. You can't fixate on one thing. It's good here, it's bad there, it's average here, it's okay here, it's really good here, and then you intertwine all the games into that. One game they're playing good for 48 minutes. The next game they're playing good for 24 minutes. Then they play good for 24 minutes. The next game they're down 15. They come back out of nowhere and beat the Clippers. In this game they're up by 19 and then they get blown out. It's like, what's going on here? Are the Lakers the only team doing this? I'm not watching every game in the NBA like I watch the Lakers. So somebody help me. Is this really what's going on? Is it just a Laker thing, or is every team like this? I'm at a loss for words. And even then, when you have the kind of talent, or at least the top heavy talent that the Lakers have, I'd like to think that the leadership there should be able to carry some weight there a little bit. But it's just not in the cards. I'm going to get to some of your questions and answers here, guys. Jeremy, Joe, I really appreciate the rant, brother. You tell it like it is. Thanks, guys. And again, I want to make this very clear too. I don't like to brag that I like to keep it real, because typically in the real world, when people are always talking about how they're a certain way, they tend to be full of crap. I'm just glad you guys are saying it. Keep saying I want to keep it real, to me, is a little pretentious. This is just me, guys. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Now, I do have my opinion on certain things, but a lot of my observation is based off of facts, based off of results. The opinion part, I guess you can say some people think maybe this guy isn't as bad as you think because of X, Y, and Z, even in situations like this. That's an opinion. Whereas I would be like, no, this guy's terrible. But beyond that, the facts is the results. And the results are, this is a game of winning. A game of winning this late in the season for a team that's already punted way too many games due to lack of focus, lack of energy, lack of knowledge, lack of ability to do anything coherent on the basketball court. So we're sitting here trying to gather up in our minds what needs to get done here. And unfortunately, it's starting to really get to a point where it's pointing to nothing. There's nothing that can be done. It's done. There can be something that can be done, but it has to be at the end. The end. This thing has to stop. It has to end. There's no more basketball, and then at that point, there will need to be a focus on how to improve these massive deficiencies that this team has. Joe, do you think Jeannie is thinking about firing Ham? Absolutely, after what happened tonight. And she's probably been thinking about it for a couple months. But the hard part about firing Ham this year is, who would you have brought in? I got to say, I know a lot of people wouldn't have liked this, but I think if if I had a choice and I can go back in January before Milwaukee got Doc Rivers, I would have fired him, got Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers can at least be a leader. Yes, he's blown a lot of games in the playoffs, but I don't think he's ever really played with I don't think he's ever really played with like a LeBron and AD. I think he'd be good with that. Most of his teams the last two stints have been players that have had issues closing stuff out on their own. Guys like Embiid, guys like Harden, guys like CP3, of course, Blake Griffin, and those guys. They weren't necessarily guys, and I'm not trying to give Doc Rivers any excuses. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you were to kind of get better in that department, that would have been a better solution at the moment. Whether it would have mattered or not is irrelevant, but I really believe that Darvin Ham is the worst Laker coach I've ever seen. I really believe that. That's an opinion. So I have to say believe based off of what I've seen. Just a terrible NBA coach, and I don't think it's even close in my opinion. So what else could you have done? I'm thinking about the now and how this team could have saved the season, because I had said in the offseason that the Lakers really had one last season here to make a run here with LeBron and AD era, the LeBron AD era. What's up, Clutch Talk? Come on in, bud. Come on in. You need me to send you a link? No, Jeremy, I know you guys, some of you guys came in late. I went with my reliable. I went with my honey jack tonight. And I mixed it with sparkling water. I don't want to drink any soda right now because drinking soda late at night is not good for you. But it's a smooth drink. It's a drink that I usually drink with my friends once a month, where we just hang out, talk some smack, drink, enjoy the night, and then have a celebratory cigar afterwards. Salute to those who are having a nightcap. Do you need a link, John? Let me know if you need a link. I'll send it to you. Anyways. So what's next? So Golden State shellacked Milwaukee, putting them 2 full games ahead of the Lakers. 2 full games of the Lakers for the 9th and 10th seeds, or I should say for the 9th seed. So the Lakers are likely looking at a 10th seed. They're solidified. They're up, I think, 6 games now because Utah lost today, from 11 to 10. So I don't see the Lakers not making the play-in. I think they've got the 10th spot solidified. They're going to be in the play-in. Where they're going to be, how they're going to be by then, that's going to be something that we're going to have to find out here in about a month. But if they get 10 and Golden State stays at 9, you're looking at them traveling to San Francisco to play a do-or-die game against Golden State. And then if they do win that game, let's say they upset the Golden State Warriors and bounce them out again in the play-in, then they're going to play the winner of the 7-8 seed. And that's going to either be probably Sacramento, Phoenix, or Dallas. Yeah. All teams that shoot very, very well against the Lakers. And what is the Achilles heel of this team? Being able to guard good shooting teams. So it's not in the cards this year, folks. It's not in the cards. And it's just, we're going to have to enjoy some of the great games that we saw this year. 40,000 point game, whatever. I guess not every season's lost completely. We do get a chance to see some epic games. I think the comeback against the Clippers could be a highlight where we send them packing with a nice win, winning the season series. I guess we could hang our hats up on that one. What do we got here? Intel, 3 shots in 90 seconds. Oh man. What do you think, guys? Should I do it? All right, Intel, here's what I want you to do. You don't drop the cash until I get the third shot done. You ready? I'm going to go with the tequila that I had. Okay. Let's try not to spill this. That's the one thing about having black shot glasses. You can't see the liquid come up, especially at night. All right, hold on. Let me put a little more. There we go. All right. There we go. You see the liquid, guys? I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm drinking there. Sometimes I can see this and sometimes I can't. It's weird. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the right lighting. Can we see it? Can we see it? There we go. Okay. All right. Are we going to start the clock here, Intel? You will go to AAA. You want to come in on this, G? You want to come hang out? Come on and hang out. I'll take the first shot when you're here. Usually I drink when you're not here. Hi, I'm Joe. Intel made me come here. Yeah. It's going to take a lot more than 3 shots to get me jacked up.
All right. I'm
Oh, look, it's Ox 1947. Ox 1947. Hold on, I'll remove that. Jeez.
Hold on. Let me. I'm now hearing you 3 times. Hold on.
Okay. Okay.
There you
So
go.
I have to have 3 shots. So you can never say I don't care about the Lakers fast break. So Intel has.
I've stopped saying that a long time ago.
So Intel is going to drop 50 on the super chat for 3 shots in 90 seconds. So you be the what do they call them in NASCAR when they drop the flag?
Yes, the flag bearer. Yes,
the flag bearer. Is that okay? Good. Okay, so
flag
tell me when.
man, whatever.
Manage the 90 seconds, and then we'll walk and roll.
Let's go.
Right? Okay. Okay. Salute everyone.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I'm here because Intel Wild put me here, and I have a problem. I don't know, sports baby, but we may be finding out on this very channel.
Man.
It's not drinking apple juice, kids.
Oh, wow. That one went down. Number 2.
Don't do it, Joe. Don't do it. Oh, my God.
Ugh.
Intel, what are you doing to this man?
Oh, I got to drink some water on that one. I'm a big boy. Don't yell at him. All right, one more. There we go.
You and I, Intel, we're going to his funeral. We're going to Joe's funeral.
3 and 90.
Jeez, for the love of God. Intel, thank you, Intel. I appreciate it. Man, you were driving this man to, oh my God. You guys are grown-ups, so but I appreciate it. It is very kind of you, Intel, even though you are killing
Intel, you be you. You be wild. You be wild, like your name says. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about it. Grown adults make their own decisions. When you're an adult, you make your own decisions, bad or good, and you own up to it. You don't make excuses like, oh, well, you know, I have a liver that acts up, or I don't want to drink tequila because it makes me feel sad. Grown-ass men here. Come on. Something tells me X95 puts it away.
Well, it helps that he's a bigger guy.
Yeah, it helps. 280 pounds helps. Feel pretty good, though. I'm all right. I think the tequila's Not Cuervo. If it was Cuervo, then I'd probably be worse, but I'm good. Who are you? JSAJ. Let's just see here what's going on. So we were discussing before you came back on. We were discussing the inevitability of what's about to happen here in the next month.
I was listening.
And I guess I gotta wait to see what this LeBron thing is. I don't know if he's playing it off. Excuse me. As just nothing, so they're not asking him questions, or this could be something where he might not be able to play here in the next couple of days. I think I would venture to think that they probably won't play him against Milwaukee.
And we don't know because the team has played actually well when they've had one or two players or their star players off the court, i.e. Boston for starters.
Yeah, but that was a fluke type situation, don't you think?
Yeah, it was a fluke.
I'm not going to rely on one epic game. And the thing is with the Celtics is it's very similar to the Golden State Warriors. The Lakers, no matter what team they have, no matter who's playing, always seem to play the Celtics competitively. Yes, there's an occasional blowout here and there, but they don't. They normally will play competitive basketball against those two teams. Am I hearing my voice?
Yes, I've told you I'm editing, man.
Oh, cool. Okay,
I'm editing.
You guys hear an echo. Gerald is editing, and tonight he's probably editing a lot more than he would edit normally because I did throw a lot of four-letter words tonight.
You threw 7 shits.
Hell yes, it deserved it. It couldn't be buttoned right enough with shat or shucks or crap or dung.
Well, let me go ahead. I'll pop out for 10 minutes. I'll be right back.
There you go. Okay, hurry up. Get out of here.
I had to be here to be witness to.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Bruce Lee.
Yes. To have your start with your liver on its downward spiral.
You can go now.
Oh well, thank you. I think I will.
Okay, back to the conversation at hand. Thank you. My first time. Apparently, I feel weird. What do you mean you feel weird? What happened, Serge? What do you mean you feel weird? John, where is John? Are you still there? If you're here, post and then I'll send you the link. Gerald is too woke now. Hey, did you hear about the word woke? Wasn't there a country that's banning that word? Search, we have to respect. What are you again? What do you mean? What do you mean what? Gerald, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm waiting for John to come back and say something. Maybe he just wanted to say hi and left. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I haven't got the link yet. Okay, John, I'm going to send it to you right now. All right, hold on one second. Let me get my email here, and I'll send it to you. Johnny boy, your first Lakers nightcap. Let's see, where are we here? John. Reply. There we go. Where are we? Oh, that didn't work. Sorry, hold on. There we go. John Costa. There we go. Okay. Gonna send it right now. Paste. Nightcap. Link. There we go. Where are we here? Add a guest. Copy link. All right, Johnny. I just sent it. I'll see you in a few. Okay. Should be a Hall of Famer. Gary, ridiculous. He's not. Shout out to Steve Garvey. Yeah, Gary, the Steve Garvey thing is a surprise here in California. But at the same time, come November for the general election, I don't know. It's going to take a lot for him to win because the suckers that are running the state are, I don't know, they gather every piece of garbage in San Francisco and LA to vote against anything that's going to change their blue trash. See, and that's the thing, Jeremy. See, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get smashed by Milwaukee. Watch, they're going to come out and they'll win by 10. That's what they've been all year. That's what they've done all year. Johnny, what's up, buddy?
What's up?
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what to think of the next game. I don't know. Imagine they're going to, let's say LeBron doesn't play, and then all of a sudden they blow out Milwaukee for all we know. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that because that's how they play. So the question was, or the answer was, or the comment was that Lakers are probably going to get blown out by Milwaukee in the next couple in 2 days. Yeah. But I'm thinking I don't know. I really don't know, and I got to figure out what we got to figure out if LeBron's going to play in that game. I'm guessing he's not.
Yeah, I mean, if this is going to go on like how it's been all season, to where it's like one game good, one game bad, one game good, but now LeBron's going to sit out in this game. Yeah, this next game might be really, really bad. And what's going on, everybody? Yes, I am old enough to drink, Darren. I'm 25 years old. I just honestly don't. I don't really drink like that, to be honest. But I mean, shoot, if I can get a bottle one night, I'll sip on a little bottle here with Joe for the nightcap. But happy to be here, though, Joe.
Yeah, well, welcome for the first time. You are on Nightcap. Intel likes to challenge us a little bit, or at least challenge me. So I had to take 3 shots in 90 seconds.
I saw that. That was insane, Joe.
For $50. Now, I thought the 6 shots in 30 minutes was worse.
That's
I didn't feel the effects, but I just thought drinking 6 shots. I hadn't drank 6 shots in 30 minutes, and God knows how long. I told him a story of my 30th birthday when I drank 15 shots of Grey Goose and Silver Patron and ended up throwing up everywhere.
And how are your nights after you end the nightcap, Joe? Like, are you just absolutely
look, man, I don't know what it is. I still don't know what this is. But when I was in my 20s,
okay,
I used to hear the guys that were in their 40s say about, hey, Joe, when you get to my age, you can't eat this stuff. It'd be like spicy food type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, you can't eat this stuff, man. You'll be, whatting in the toilet. Your heartburn and all that. Dude, I reached 40 and I'm 46 now. I just turned 46. I eat more spicy foods now than I ever have in my life. I drink more now than I ever have in my life, and I don't feel anything. Like I'd have to drink gallons to get jacked. And I did get jacked. I did get jacked. About a month ago, Gerald was on, and I was starting to slur my words. I'm like, hey, Gerald, am I slurring my words?
I wish I would have been here for that, Joe.
I think you just pop it in. It's one of the old ones from a few weeks ago. I'll send you the link. I forgot what day it was, but I got drunk. And that was a lot of alcohol. I was drinking a lot of alcohol. What was it I drank? I think it was the rum. I was drinking Captain, shots of Captain.
Okay.
And Intel was like, I'll give you 150 and I'll do this and I'll give you 70. I'm like, fuck, all right. Just kept getting, I started feeling like, oh yeah, man, my face is starting to get numb.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe one night I'll get a bottle from one of these stores and just to sip here with you, because I've never really. Honestly, my biggest thing is like every time I taste alcohol, Joe, it just like it burns my throat. Like I know that sounds super childish, but it's just like, why would I drink something if I don't like it? You know,
alcohol is a terrible drink. I don't really enjoy alcohol. I drink alcohol purely for buzz. That's it. If Pepsi tasted like alcohol, I'd be an alcoholic. Something like that, right? So I went with the old reliable tonight. I'm a big Honey Jack guy because I have my crew and we'll have Honey Jack night, Honey Jack and Coke night. Although lately I've been trying to stay away from the Coke. I just put the carbonated water because it's less sugar. When you start drinking that stuff, 3 or 4 glasses in a 2-3 hour span, that sugar starts to, really start to kind of fill you up a little bit. And that's not good. That isn't good. Alcohol isn't good either, but I don't drink a lot. I drink when Intel puts up all these damn ransoms, and whenever I have get together with friends of mine, which is usually once a month or once every other month. That's it. I don't really do anything of that. Yeah. But I did get one, Kurt. I did have a body armor. It was the one with the Kobe logo on it too. Oh, it was strawberry and something watermelon. It was a strawberry and watermelon one. I think it's too sugary tasting too. I don't know if it was something I really enjoyed. It was okay, but not something I drink all the time. Yeah. Darvin Ham doesn't drink, but he always looks like he's lost. It doesn't look like he's lost. He is lost.
He is lost. Huh? Tell him, Joe. Sergeant Destroy said 420 challenges coming soon. I'm guessing he's talking about smoking. That's different.
Serge, I'm not a big smoker. I'll have a celebratory cigar, but I'm not a fan of the weed.
You don't smoke weed, Joe?
No. Weed is. I don't know if those Dare commercials growing up put a thought in my head. Every time I saw someone smoking weed, okay, and I was in that world for a while. I had a friend of mine who had a dispensary. I owned the dispensary for about 4 months.
You never told me that story though.
Yeah, you know that story, right?
No, tell me about it.
Oh wow, you didn't know that? Okay, For those of you who've heard this, sorry, I got to tell John. Please. So my buddy calls me up. This is I think 2014-ish. He goes, Joe, I want you to come work with me. And this is a gentleman that used to work for me in another business, and he was trying to like repay me for kind of jump-starting his business career. So with that, Gary, my go-to is Monte Cristo. I can get them quick, and they taste good, and I don't feel like I just ate tar afterwards. So he calls me up. Actually, I'm sorry. He emails me, and then I call him, and then he goes, "Hey, Joe, I want you to come work with me or work for me. Come to this address in Orange County, blah, blah, blah." So I go over there. Of course, I walk in. I'm like, "Oh, man, what the hell am I doing in here?" Long story short, he's like, "Joe, I want you to work with me. I loved our relationship. This, and that. I'll pay you $1,000 cash a week." Cool. Next year or so, I'm working with him. I still have some other stuff on the side, but I'm working with him, trying to learn the business, and started doing some investigating. Finding out that California was probably about to legalize the usage and getting all that going. I'm like, all right, maybe I can be like the Kennedys, and because the Kennedys were bootleggers back during Prohibition. I said, maybe that might be it. Maybe I get into this now, and then when it goes legal, hey, I'll have all the knowledge. I'll have all the tools to maybe create something good here. But 2 years later, I ended up getting my own dispensary, partnered up with this one guy, and I didn't like the people around it. My partner was fine. He's great. I didn't like the culture. Everyone was still dirty, and everyone was scammy, and it wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't want to be around those people. I didn't smoke, so I was totally out of it in terms of relating with that group. And I just at the time where I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go do something else. My business partner was like, "Hey, Joe, I'd like, can we talk about a buyout here? I'd like to take over the business." I'm like, "Dude, your timing is perfect. Give me $15,000 and I'll call it a day." And he's like, "Sure, I'll give it to you in 3 months." So it was giving me $5,000 per month. And that was it. That was 2016. That was the last time I dealt with that. And then went from selling real grass to fake grass. Fake grass is a lot easier to maintain. I'll tell you that right now.
I love that. No, I love that, Joe. That is a great story. I don't smoke much, but like I'm in California, so I am a periodical. If one of my friends comes through, we chill here in the backyard sometimes. But yeah, I guess that'd be my cup of tea if I had to choose one.
Well, I don't have anything against it really, other than the fact that there are some scumbags that are in and around that business world area of it. That's really the ones that really turned me off on it. I have plenty of friends that have ADHD and weird quirks where they have to have it, otherwise insomnia, otherwise they'll never sleep. So Intel is saying, Joe, next game you have to drink as many shots as AD makes during the game. $10 a shot if you approve. Let me know. He might go for
Crazy.
60.
That's insane. Joe, you be plastered.
Let me think about that one, Intel. Let me think about that one because they do have Brook Lopez. And Brook Lopez is a talented guy. And what is the one thing that AD's been struggling at lately? Playing against talented bigs. So he might end up with 12 points against Milwaukee, for all we know. Let me think about that one, Intel. Let me think about that one. Because we're talking about Friday.
Yes.
I guess if there's a day to get sloshed, Friday was the day.
Sloshed is crazy.
So I don't know. I'll have to see what's going on there. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow when we do a snack pack. How about that? Alan, what's up? Oh, that was a typo? He is not European, though. What are you talking about? Oh, it doesn't matter. Is Embiid European?
No, but he's
No.
like technically a foreigner.
He got worked by Joel Embiid the last few times, too.
Yeah,
It's any talented big. And I'm not talking about Giannis. Giannis isn't technically a big, even though he's 7 feet. I'm talking about the big boys. I'm talking about Embiid, Sabonis, Jokic, those guys. And Brook Lopez is a legit 7-footer and who can ball. So,
yeah. Let me see. Darren said if Lakers play in Frisco for the play-in, we need tickets. Yes. I mean, besides the fact that the Warriors games are ridiculously expensive here in the Bay Area, yeah, I mean, if I can get us some tickets, I will get us all some tickets.
that'll probably be a $500 ticket. Unless you go by yourself.
Yeah, I did last year when the Lakers played the Warriors in the play-in or playoffs, whatever it was. I did this video on my Clutch Talk channel where I was basically exposing all these Warriors fans. I went in front of the Chase Center and I was just asking them just like typical questions like what's Curry's real name or like just questions or who was Warriors like guy before Curry. A lot of them didn't even know it. I was exposing these
Really?
Warriors
They don't
fans.
know that Monte Ellis was the guy before Curry?
A lot of people don't know because what's crazy is Joe is here in the Bay Area after this huge tech boom. These games got so expensive. It's like $500 tickets that the real fans, they got weeded out. They can't afford those tickets anymore. It's just these fake tech guys who make all this money and they don't care about spending it.
No, they don't care because they're just trying to press some skank who's with them for the money only, right?
Exactly.
It is what it is. You can't keep up. The league doesn't care. No one cares. They just care about money, and that's ultimately. Although I will say they do have Mr. Ballmer. He's going to create a section for the average fan. Kudos to him. I know we like to make fun of Uncle Fester a little bit, but he is one of the legit ones.
Yeah, he's cool. I like him and I like Mark Cuban too. They be buying in a lot to their team. Like they don't care about spending money for their team.
Oh, well, look who decided to show.
Gerald.
I was already here earlier. I found all your bleeps, so I bleeped them out.
Good. You got to send me the
Apple
copy of
Podcasts
that.
will be. Oh.
Is that on Apple?
Yeah, it's on Apple Podcasts. That's why I do it, Joe. YouTube, it's all you raw Joe. It's right there. Facebook, all you raw. Apple Podcasts, I want to try and send as much clean because
No, that's good. That's good. I'm not
those,
gonna probably. Yeah.
Those episodes get larger numbers than when they're
Look
not.
what this freaking guy's doing. Look what this guy's offering.
I've been seeing him. I even thanked Intel. He just.
Yeah, but you thank everyone. Richard Ramirez can be resurrected from from the dead and come up and show up and you'll be thanking him.
No, I will not. Sorry.
Was that too deep?
That was, I think, a little bit too deep. Yes.
Really?
Well, good to have you here, John, for the nightcap.
Yes. John is going to have a drink with us next time.
Yes, I'm gonna. Yes, I'm gonna do it next time. But I have to just make sure that my daughter never wakes up because she always ends up waking up, and then I always have to go running in there. But today she's good, so that's why I'm on here today.
Gerald, how should I answer that?
Which one? Darren's question?
No, to John's comment about the kid. Should I go all the way with it? You probably know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah, I know what you're going to go ahead and say. Go for it.
John?
Go ahead.
That's what the women are for.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Joe. My lady does so much for me, and like just giving me time for this. That honestly, sometimes I feel bad. Like sometimes I'll be recording, and I'm like, oh man, I just feel bad. I feel like my girl's just doing everything. Like, to be honest, but you know what?
It's
You're
a
not wrong,
grind.
Joe.
When you're under 1,000 subs, it's a grind. So it's hard to show your loved ones, that, but it's a little easier when you get over the 1,000. If you start, earning something, at least anything, it's easy to show. Although, again, a lot of it's based off. Intel, Darren, everybody's been so kind with the super chats. That's basically when I'm still at this number of subscribers. That's what you're still predominantly like. Empire Jeff, we're both in the same boat. It's mainly contributions at this point. You're not really earning a whole lot off of those ads when you hit 1,000. It's when you're hitting like 2, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 views, 10,000 views. That's when you start seeing some ad revenue lineup. Just inside baseball on the YouTube there. But from what what I'm seeing on my, generated, it's just, until you get to those larger numbers. So that's why we tell people to subscribe. That's why you hear every YouTuber tell you to subscribe, is because the more times you subscribe, the more notifications you'll get, as Joe's playing with this. Yes. You know what? Cool Bro would be scared right now because you're doing your Jack Nicholson Shining thing, and he hates The Shining. But that's the deal, John. So yeah, it's until the ad revenue is nice once you get to a higher point. Yeah, exactly. Search exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Lakers in 5 will probably tell you they're getting close to 6,000. So yeah,
6,000 what?
subscribers.
Who?
Lakers in 5.
Oh, so what do we see at 6,000?
More views, more subscribers, more views. You'll see.
I want to see more views now. Where the hell are you people?
We had probably 1,000 on today's show.
Come on, you gonna really listen to Trevor Lane over us?
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Those guys are weak.
He's cardboard. Yeah, Trevor Lane is,
I mean, I know he was here since 2009. I've been here since 2021. But we'll get there.
I actually, I don't know his name, but there's some other, like he's of darker descent. I don't want to say black, but like he's of darker descent. Like he goes on with.
You're black. You can just say it, dude.
I know, but I didn't know.
He is of melatonin brownish.
I didn't know how the chat would take it, but basically he goes on with Trevor Lane, and I actually had him on Lakers Corner one time for a show, and I'll be honest, that guy. I from my conversation with him, I did not feel like he knows basketball.
He is a little mocha with some cheese.
He's very polite.
Yes, he's a polite guy.
Yeah, he's a very polite guy. It's just, but then again, you go on that channel, you just become polite. You become
That's pretty
cardboard.
Good, John, actually. What did you say again?
I said of darker
dark complexion.
That
is the most PC description I've ever heard.
I didn't know how the chat would take it, Joe. I had to just...
He is a
Sean. Yeah, that's
Sony TV-ish.
Well, they're both named Sean.
Oh, they're well. I don't know. I think I know. Yeah, I think his name's Sean. But I don't know what if it's Sean with the.
They're all named Sean
or with the E, but
he was the color of a milk.
Oh my gosh.
Saying he's the color of milk, that is crazy.
Dude, there was a skit that Arius Spears, when he was doing stand-up, man, he was killing me. He was explaining how African black people don't like American black people. And then he threw it back on him like, man, we're brown and you're midnight. And then everyone went nuts. It's like, I didn't see that response coming when I should have, because he's really quick and funny. No, I'm not drunk. I'm feeling pretty good though.
He's got a nice buzz going on. When he starts to slur everyone,
I started laughing because of John's comment. It has nothing to do with the drinks. That was funny.
When he starts to slur and tell me every other sentence that he's effed up, Yeah, that's when.
Yeah, that was a good night. I slept. I mean,
You got to
if
see
the
that one, John.
if the world was ending at that moment when I was about to lay down on the couch, I'd be like, peace.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. You guys have to send me a link to that one or tell me which one it is. I need
Which
to
day
go
was
find
it? Was it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? I forgot.
Oh, it was over 3 weeks ago. I'll find it for you, John. I'll find it for you.
Okay, I have to.
I might have to make some shorts out of it.
It's funny, Alan,
I gotta
because
catch
one of
up
my
on myself.
friends has a corny response to that when he's filling out an application. He's like, race, African, Mexican, or Hispanic, Caucasian, and he always says, "I put other and I put human race." Oh man, oh, that's funny. That's good stuff. Anyways, I think we're here as the Lakers fast break, Lakers nightcap. I would like to go back to that a little bit and maybe discuss a little bit of the positiveness of tonight's game.
Which is?
Rui Hachimura, maybe?
Yeah, good performance. I mean, like I said, Joe, when you get 60 points from LeBron and Rui, and you really just, it's just a shame that they threw it away on such a bad performance. If it's a close win or a close game, okay, no problem. But when Rui shoots he only missed 3 shots.
4.
13 to 17. Yeah, it's, and LeBron went 10 for 10 from the line.
No, LeBron fantastic tonight. He was great. This would have been a blowout if it wasn't for those two guys, especially LeBron. Anthony Davis, man.
Well, defensively, it's again, yeah. What are you going to get?
Anthony Davis, and I think whatever happened with D'Angelo and the bench, it's just not good, guys.
It's just defensively, though. Defensively, Rui and LeBron were they couldn't give you. I mean, Rui's just not a good defender. Let's just be honest.
Do you believe?
And LeBron's 39.
Let's say if Frank Vogel was coaching tonight, do you think that the defense would have played this bad?
No.
Okay, so you just answered my question, and everybody.
He has less defensive talent in Phoenix, and yet still is able to manage to play.
This isn't revisionist history, okay? I remember vividly. There were times where Vogel might have been able to do a couple things in a particular game. It usually was offensive, setups. But I never remember in the 3 years he was coaching, I don't remember going, man, Frank Vogel is stupid. Not once, I swear.
His offensive sets weren't.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That's
fine. That's fine. And we talked about that. LeBron is the Peyton Manning of the NBA. He's the Peyton Manning. The offense is Peyton Manning in football.
Well, that's why
Vogel's
Caldwell
in there. You could bring Dungy in there. You can bring Jim Moore in there. It's the Peyton Manning offense, right? Okay, cool.
But that's why Vogel's so much better fit on Phoenix, because he doesn't have to worry about offense very much, because he was
better. He was better with the Lakers, in my opinion.
Because he has 3 great scorers, so he doesn't have to focus on offense too much. It's about trying to manufacture.
But the thing is, Gerald, is a defensive coach is always going to coach better when he has the tools to coach that he's good at. And the Lakers had that.
I'm just saying he can focus more on defense because he has 3 elite scorers. Well, I don't know what you say Beal is, but at least 2.
He's not a defensive player, and neither is Booker, and neither is Durant at this point in his career.
Durant has been playing pretty good defense.
No, he's okay. He's good. But
by necessity,
the Lakers struggled on offense that 2021 season before AD got hurt in the playoffs, and I remember there were 3-4 minute gaps every game where they couldn't score, not even a point. But they overcorrected. They overcorrected so much. They should have just stuck it out, but they didn't. And now we're a witness to just bad philosophy, bad tools for a bad philosophy.
Honestly, whenever I talk about this whole like Frank Vogel and defensive minded coach and offensive minded stuff, like I always think back to like the 2020 championship. Earlier we were talking about the 2020 bubble run and all that. And I think that that team was such a defensive menace. Like people were just scared to go into paint because if it wasn't AD, it was Dwight, it was JaVale. We had Rondo in the perimeter. We had Avery Bradley, even though he didn't even show up to the bubble. But that team was crazy defensively. And why was Frank Vogel so great that year? Because he's a defensive-minded coach, like how we all just alluded to. And then the next year, literally the next year, that's when we brought in Melo and Trevor Ariza and did away with all these great defensive players. And I remember, I forgot who was saying it, but they were saying like, oh, instead of stopping teams, we're trying to just outscore teams. And that was the year that we absolutely sucked right after because we had a defensive-minded coach in Frank Vogel and an offensive-minded players, and it didn't work. And the only issue with Darvin Ham is I don't think he's defensive minded or offensive minded. I just don't think he's a coach minded. Like he's an assistant type guy.
Well, it's so funny because you guys we talked about Vogel. Yusuf Nurkic, he's been like balling out, rebounding like a fiend the past since the All-Star game. And I was just looking at the stats. He's only like 7th or 8th in the league. You figured the guy gets like 20 and 30 and 20 and 30. You see him like balling out on the rebound. It's like, my God, I think part of that you see from something happened. Vogel did something different coming out of the break to allow him to be more of a rebounder for that team. And I think it's really helped them be
So
much
what do you
more
think it is?
Maybe it's a different alignment. I don't know if they had a starting lineup change or whatnot, but something is different. I mean, when you've got a guy that's now he's only averaging he's still averaging under 11 for the season, but something happened, Joe. When somebody goes on a huge binge like that, it's not just him. Something took place with that team where they designed something differently for him to be able to get all those rebounds. So something, I would imagine my first thought is something that the coach did to put him in a better position to rebound, because he was just like an 8 rebound a game guy, 9 rebound a game guy. That all of a sudden he's now like rebounding like Dennis Rodman.
Okay, so maybe he pulled Nurkic to the side and said, "Look, Nurk, you're a huge
coaching.
man. You're a huge
Yeah.
right? Coaching sometimes isn't just about a setup or a device or a philosophy, whatever. Sometimes it's just bringing a guy to sit next to you and say, listen, you have the size and you have the ability to do this. So I want you to do something for me. Remember when I told you guys about Vanderbilt's issue or LeBron's issue with making layups with contact? What did I tell you? Do you remember? John, I don't think you were there when I said it. Gerald, do you remember?
No, I don't. Sorry.
Okay. What I said was, if you're going to have some kind of off-season workout, have an off-season workout where you're doing layups, where the assistant coach or whomever's working out with you uses some kind of a cushion to hit you while you're hitting the layups. So you get used to the contact and making those layups. Everything is about details. What did Kobe say? What did Kobe work on whenever he wanted to work on a weakness? It didn't matter what it was. He wanted to work on a weakness. If his ball, there was a time where, because Kobe didn't have Michael Jordan's hands, he had, for his height and his weight, he had average sized hands. Very similar to Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley said he couldn't, the reason why he used to dunk like this is because he couldn't palm the ball. He had small hands for his size. So what did Kobe do? I remember vividly, first like 6-7 years of Kobe's career, he would lose the ball in traffic. But then 2 years later, all of a sudden, he didn't have that problem anymore. Why? He worked on it. He worked on the details. If you're deficient in certain things, Nurkic, what was Nurkic's deficiency? I didn't really watch him play a lot. I watched a little here and there. But what was his deficiency? Maybe it was his energy level. Maybe it was him taking a page off of Dennis Rodman's book and listening to how the ball bounces from particular rims and backboards and whatever. Or it could be particular floor spacing from the team. Could be an array of things. But this is what a good coach is supposed to do. He's supposed to recognize, okay, this guy's got this size. This guy plays a certain way. If you just tweak a little bit of here, a little something here and there, you can get him in a position where he can be successful.
And I've heard this so many times. I've heard them say that great coaches will get you to run through a wall. Great coaches are motivators. And I think that it could be like how Joe said, it could be simply like nothing about X's and O's. Frank Vogel pulled Nuggets to the side and said, yo, I'm going to need you to get your butt together. And I'm going to need you to figure this out. And I'm going to need you to get some damn rebounds. And then maybe he was a lot more, maybe more enthusiasm in it, but he motivated him. Coaches, being part of being a coach is a motivator. Another thing Darvin Ham lacks, because Jay said Darvin Ham's motivator, all right. Yeah, he just has his hands in his pocket all day.
Well, that was his MO. He was supposed to have been a player's coach, was what the deal was. Not an X's and O's guy.
Well, the player coach thing used to mean something back in the day. Now it doesn't mean anything because the players are already catered enough to where we don't need to be a coach's whatever. Those days are gone. It doesn't make sense anymore. What a coach needs to do now is they need to teach how these guys to play at their strengths. It doesn't matter if they're an average player or a great player. All of them want to be coached the right way. If you sat with LeBron, even in his 22nd year next year, and you said, LeBron, have you noticed a little bit of a hitch here? What are you talking about? Well, you have a little bit of a hitch when you get into traffic during a layup. Have you noticed that you've been missing some layups, even though there's resistance and it's sometimes hard to get those layups? If you tweak this thing just a little bit, if you anticipate this thing just a little bit, your concentration for that half a second will allow you to make that layup. You don't think he's going to take that advice? You don't think he's going to appreciate it? Of course he's going to appreciate it. You're going to let him make at least 4 or 6 points extra a game. He's going to appreciate it a lot. Everyone wants to be coached, especially in this particular situation. Whether they get coached or not is the question. NBA coaches now, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago, doesn't matter. I do want to make this very clear. Have sometimes just as big of an ego as players. NBA coaches and NBA GMs are some of the worst evaluators, decision makers in sports. Very, very, very bad. In the NFL, it's a little easier. In Major League Baseball, it's a little easier. Hockey, I don't really. Hockey's maybe a little bit hard to gauge too. Sometimes these guys get fired after 2 weeks starting the season. I don't know what the hell they're doing in hockey. But in the NBA, you have a lot of GMs and a lot of coaches that should never be GMs and coaches. I mean, never. They are inept to the nth degree. And then you have the ego basketball player, especially if he's a star. It's a recipe for disaster. And the second that becomes a problem, the seasons never go well. There's only one team I've ever seen that has had disgusting turmoil and still won. You all know who that is.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the reason why that was able to happen is because you had the modern day Wilt Chamberlain and the modern day, this is after Jordan retired in 98, the modern day Michael Jordan on the same damn team. If you can't win with those two guys on the team, then you guys don't belong in the NBA. And they did. Imagine if those guys had gotten along. Now, Shaq and Kobe gave us the lip service. With all due respect to Kobe, God rest his soul, and Shaq, you guys are all full of crap. Okay? You guys hated each other. Don't insult my intelligence. Don't tell me it was for marketing and all that. That's something I would tell Shaq in his face if I ever had that discussion with him. I would sit there, look him right in the eye, and I would tell him, Shaq, don't tell me that was a marketing ploy. That's horse crap. You were upset at how Kobe was at that time. Kobe held you accountable. You didn't like that, and you answered back.
That was not a marketing scheme. That's what he would say. Something like that.
What a bunch of crap. Now, if you want to apologize for screwing up, okay, it's easy to say that now. But in the end, you jackasses could have won 7, 8 titles together. If Duncan, Manu, and Tony Parker could play from 2000 to 2014, you don't think you two could have? You guys came in together in 96. Shaq's last season where he was not Shaq, but viable was probably 2008. You could have had 12 years where you guys could have made this work and probably won 6 or 7 titles, maybe even 8, if you just focused on the right things. But they didn't. So now, Phil Jackson had issues. This had issues. Well, but at the end of the day, talent still matters. You have enough talent on this team? Not after the 5. So if you're going to have any chance at winning, you at least have to have everything else work out for you, especially the guy calling the shots on the sidelines. And at this point, you put the worst leader for this kind of team on the bench. Jeannie, Rob, you should be ashamed of yourselves for getting rid of a championship coach for a guy that couldn't empty the trash right if you asked him to.
It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Guys, on that note, I am going to go be a father.
So, John, go back to your duties as a,
girl dad. That's right. We were talking about girl dads
Yes.
earlier in the show about Joe being a girl dad. You're a good girl dad as well.
Gerald, you go do your dad's or editing and stuff like that.
Almost finished.
For those of you who have been hanging out here tonight, I salute you, and I'm about to finish my last sip here.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
Finish it, Joe.
And with that, I want to thank you for being here tonight. John, welcome for the first time. Bless you too, Serge. Thank you. Gerald.
Thank you, Serge. Thank you, Intel. Thank you, everyone.
There you go. Everyone. Thank you, everyone.
I'll be
Gerald,
back.
thank everyone, and thanks. And Gerald, again, thanks for everything, and thanks. And if you have any comments, any questions, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. If you want to reach me directly, Sinblades_turf on Instagram. If you want to reach me on Twitter, I'm not there all the time, but if you guys give me a reason to be there, I will be there. That's Joe Soro LFB. Is it hashtag Joe Soro LFB? Is that how that works?
I think you have a hashtag.
I think it's an at. I think it's an at.
Is it at? That's what it is.
Oh, we have an app, but then okay.
Yeah. And if you want to direct message me on Facebook, I have an alias, Johnny Blade. You can hit me up, and you'll know it's me because you'll see the Punisher logo on there. If real easy to find me. And with that, thank you all again for being here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Gerald, we're probably gonna have a snack back tomorrow, I'm assuming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Snack back tomorrow.
We always got to take time out to bitch about the Lakers.
Absolutely. Tomorrow, snack pack. Friday, obviously, we're gonna play the Bucks at home. God help us. Hopefully, LeBron is there. If not,
and they just lost too, so they'll be pissed. Great.
Yeah. What I don't even know what that means. They've been real into it. But anyways,
they won 6 in a row before.
Good for them. Good for them. Have a good night, everyone. Stay classy, and I guess until next time.
Peace.
I'll see you next time.